Sir.
So we'll begin today's class. We have been discussing Newton-Raphson method, uh, and it is all about the method of tangents. And we have derived the formula for the sequence of approximations. Okay, in Newton-Raphson method. And after that, we were doing problems using Newton-Raphson method. Okay, I think we are in the middle of one problem, and I told you to complete that problem. Did you complete? May I know the answer for it? Is this the problem we were discussing? This one only, no? Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
So, anyone solve this problem? Can you tell me the final answer? You're asked to give the solution correct to 4 decimals. X naught equal to, we started with 3.5 as an initial approximation. We computed f of x naught and f dash of x naught. And I said in computation of f of function f, you need to use LOG to the log to the base 10, which is LOG button in your calculator. And while computing f dash is a natural logarithm. Therefore, you have to use ln button in your calculator. I said. What was that value you got? 3.59788. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
What about the remaining approximations? I want you to tell the remaining successive approximations. Anyone did it or not?
Yes, sir.
Then tell me the answer. What is x2? I just want to know x2. You said you did the problem. What is the success?
3.59728, sir.
3 point
59728.
is there. Can you tell me x3?
3.597285, sir.
Again x3 also same value.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so 4 decimals are, you cannot rely on the last decimal. So you can say that it is approximately it is 3.55978 corrected to 4 decimals. Okay, so first 4 decimals will be there. So this is the solution. Okay, so we'll continue to do some more problems. Okay. So before that, let me show you some of the problems which are already solved in the other class. Okay, then we will do similar problems. Okay, so you're asked to find, so previous one is a transcendental equation. So this is an algebraic equation which is a polynomial equation. It's a fourth degree equation which will have 4 roots. We are trying to find out one root of it. Okay, so when f is like this, f dash will be this one, 4x cube plus 6x square minus 1, and this is a Newton's iterative formula. And first we were trying to find out the location of the real root. Okay, and for that, okay, we didn't find any interval. Okay, we just computed the functional value at a point randomly. I computed, instead of finding the interval, I just randomly substituted some value. It came out to be 0.3640 minus 0.36640. Okay, so its magnitude is less than 1. Its magnitude is less than 1. So I thought I can go with this. Okay, so you may start with 1 also. Somebody may start with 0.5 also. I said your initial approximation must be sufficiently closer to the exact root. So how do you say whether it is sufficiently close or not? If the when you substitute the initial value in the function, if the magnitude is less than 1, then you may consider that as a sufficiently closer value. Then I computed the derivative at this point 0.8 and substituted all these values. Okay, so as I said, your initial approximation can be considered as x1 or x0, doesn't matter. If you are considering x1 as initial approximation, x2 will be successive approximation. If you are writing n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on, then x0 will be the initial approximation, x1 will be the successive approximations. Okay, so don't confuse with this notation. I said earlier also. So n can start with 1, 2, 3, 4 or 0, 1, 2, 3, doesn't matter. Okay, it's only a notation. So when you substitute these values, you will get the successive approximation like this. Initial approximation is 0.8, successive approximation is 0.87496, and using x2 we computed x3. Before that we computed the functional values, and using x3 we computed x4, and using x4 we computed x5. And you see that in x4 and x5 first four decimals are equal in two consecutive approximations. Therefore we terminated the iteration process and said the last obtained value is the approximate root. I will share these problems. Okay, first of all you let me know you understand this whole procedure, right? Shall I go to the next problem? Otherwise you can note down this equation. Later you can do it as a homework. X power 4 plus 2x cube minus x minus 1 equal to 0. Shall I proceed? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is an important model. Okay, find an approximate root of find an approximate value of root 12. If you use calculator and if you there is a square root option, and if you press square root of 12, you will get the approximate value for required number of decimals. Okay, but how calculator gave all those calculations? Okay, square root of 12 or sin x, cos x, log x. Okay, some instructions must have given to the calculator, no? Those sequence of instructions is nothing but a code. That means they're all programmable calculators. Okay, so some coding was done, and so that whenever you press a button, related instructions will go and the sequence of instructions will execute and give you the results. Okay, so and how the calculations are done by the mathematical procedures only, like this. Okay, we want to know the exact value of we want to know the approximate value of root 12. Assume that its exact value is x and take square on both sides. X square equal to 12. Then if you take 12 to left hand side, x square minus 12 equal to 0. Okay, so this is an equation. This is in the form, this is in the form f of x equal to 0. You can apply Newton-Raphson method only for the equations. Okay, not for the expressions or anything. Okay, so root of this equation, positive root of this equation is nothing but the exact value. Agreed or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you consider f as like this. Find out its derivative. You start with some initial approximation. You know 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16. So 12 is in between 12 is in between 9 and 16. Therefore your root will be maybe in between 3 and 4. So I took the midpoint of 3 and 4. I started with 3.5. Okay, so when I start with 3.5, and so what is the formula for Newton's iteration method? Xn plus 1 equal xn minus f of xn by f dash of xn. What is f of xn? When this is f of x, f of xn is xn square minus 12. Xn square minus 12. F dash of xn will be 2 into xn. 2 into xn. Okay. So what I did, I took the I made the simplification. Okay, 2xn square minus xn square minus or minus plus by 2xn. 2xn square minus xn square is xn square plus 12 by 2xn. So you can use this as a formula to compute the successive approximations. Instead of doing like this, okay, it may be easier to apply this formula. So this is an iterative formula to compute root 12. Okay, so then I substituted x0. X0 is 3.5 in this iterate formula, and so simplify. You will get the successive approximations using x1. You find out x2. Using x2 you find out x3 and so on. So then you will notice that after 3 iterations, the first 4 decimals will be equal. Therefore, we say that this is an approximate value correct to 4 decimals. Easy? And that is how your calculators do. Okay, so what your calculator do, it will perform a certain number of iterations. Okay, then it will stop, it will terminate the procedure. It is also following certain numerical technique only. Whatever the values you are seeing in the calculator, they are not exact. They are exact up to certain number of decimals only. Got it? Because your finite state machine cannot print all the decimals that are there in the real number, right? Shall I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you say generalization to 12 instead of root 12. If I want a root n, same technique, you consider root n as x. You consider root n as x square on both sides. Okay, x square minus n equal to 0. Okay, f of x n is x square minus n. This one only, f of x equal to 0 form. Okay, this in the form f of x equal to 0. So f of x will be x square minus n. F dash x will be 2x. So when you apply Newton-Raphson method, so this is the formula. Okay, so n equal to here we started with, okay. Okay, so you may say n equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. Okay, so I substituted the function. Okay, f of xn means xn square minus n. F dash of xn is 2xn. We simplified this. We got like this. And I divided with xn by taking 1 by 2 outside. By 2 1 by 2 outside, xn square by xn is xn plus n by xn. So this is the general formula to find out square root of n. To find out square root of n, square root of n. Okay, so will you write down this solution in your notes? Please copy this problem in your notes. Find Newton's iterative formula for square root of n. Or we shall do this problem. Let us do this problem. Derive Newton's iterative formula for kth root of n. We shall derive the formula for kth root of n. When I substitute k equal to 2, that is going to be square root. If I substitute k equal to minus 1, 1 by n. If I substitute k equal to minus 1 by 2, that will be 1 by root n. So let us derive this formula, and remaining will be special cases. All of you write down the problem. Okay. So problem number 7. Find Newton's iterative formula. Newton's iterative formula for kth root of n. Kth root of n. Okay. So let us assume that kth root of n is equals to n power 1 by k is equals to x. So what you have to do then, both sides you take integral power k. So n power 1 by k, so n is equal to x power k. This implies that x power k minus n is equal to 0. Okay, so which is in the form f of x equal to 0, right? So what is your function? Your function would be x power k minus n. So what is f dash of x k? F dash of x will be k x power k minus n. Am I right? So what is the Newton's iterative formula? Newton's iterative formula.
Xn plus 1 equal to
Yes.
xn minus f of xn by f dash of xn.
approximations is xn plus 1 is equals to xn minus f of xn by f dash of xn.
अरे बन करंट क्यों नहीं आता है?
N equals to 1, 2, 3 and so on. So you just substitute the derivative on the function and simplify. Xn equal to what is f of xn? F of xn is xn power k minus n. Wherever x is there, replace x with xn. That's it. And f dash of x is k xn power k minus 1. Okay. So simplify this. So this is k xn power k minus xn power k minus or minus plus divided by k xn power k minus. Am I right? So if I take xn power k common, so it is going to be k minus 1 into xn power k plus n by k into xn power k minus 1. Okay, so if I take 1 by k outside, it is going to be k minus 1 into xn plus n by xn power k minus 1. So anything, both are same, I think. So you can use this, or you can use this. You can use any one of this formula as a Newton's iterative formula. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what are the special cases? We shall write down the special cases here. What was asked? N equal to minus 1, right? So n equal to minus 1 implies, so what is this? This is xn plus this is xn plus 1, right? Xn plus 1. Okay, so n equal to 1 and minus 1 means what? Xn plus 1 is equals to 1 by k times is this n equal to minus 1 or k equal to minus 1? 1 by n, no? X power 1 by k. When I put k equal to minus 1, you will get x power minus 1, right? So put k equal to minus 1. K equal to minus 1, right? So k equal to minus 1. When I put k equal to minus 1, implies okay. So otherwise we shall prepare a table like this. Okay, so k value x power 1 by k. Okay, x power 1 by k xn plus 1 is equal to iterative formula. Okay, iterative formula. So when I say k equal to minus 1, this is x power sorry, this is not x, I think. Nth root of k, nth root of 1 by k. That is what we were trying to find out. Am I right? N, see here, kth root of n. That is what we are doing now. Kth root of n, k equal to minus 1. Kth root of n, kth root of n. So this is n power minus 1, which is nothing but 1 by n. Then xn plus 1 would be, substitute k equal to minus 1. When I substitute k equal to minus 1, what do you get? 1 by minus 1, minus 1 minus 1 minus 2 xn minus n by minus 1 by xn power minus 2. Am I right? Right or wrong? Simply substitute k equal to minus 1. Minus 1, minus 1, minus 2, minus 2, minus 2. N is same, xn is same. So what is the simplification? Please tell me. 2xn plus minus into minus plus 2xn plus n into xn square. Am I right? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is
2xn
plus
minus xn square.
not minus into minus plus, no. Okay, this must be used. I agree. So here you will get plus only, correct? Because k is here. So 2xn minus n into xn square, correct? So 2xn minus n into xn square. Is this fine now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, substitute what is the next one? Nth root of k. After nth root of k, you are asked to find out k power n power minus 1 by 2. N power minus 1 by 2. So substitute minus 1 by 2. N power minus 1 by 2. Okay, so that is 1 by root n. So what will be the simplification? Xn plus 1 is equal to, so k equal to minus 1 by 2. So 1 by minus 1 by 2 into minus 1 by 2 minus 1 into xn plus n by xn power minus 1 by 2 minus 1. That means what? This is going to be minus 2. This is going to be minus 3 by 2. And this is going to be minus 3 by 2. So when I take to numerator, it is going to be 3 by 2. So minus of minus plus. So it is going to be 3 by 2. Okay, so 2 gets cancelled, right? So I'll write here. So minus 2 times, please mute yourself. 3 by 2 xn plus n into xn power 3 by 2. Okay, so minus into minus plus 2 gets cancelled. It is going to be, it is going. So minus into minus plus 2 gets cancelled. 3xn plus 3xn minus 2n into xn power 3 by 2. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So it is going to be 3xn minus 2 into n into xn power 3 by 2. Okay. Similarly, if you substitute k equal to 1 by 2, you will get square root of n and so on. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just see one more problem, and this is an important problem. All of you write down this problem. Use Newton's method to find out smallest positive root. Use Newton's method to find out the smallest root of the equation tan x equal to x. Use Newton's method to find out the smallest positive root of the equation tan x equal to x. We know x equal to 0 is a root because tan 0 is 0, 0, 0 equal to 0. Okay, so when you substitute x equal to 0, 0 minus 0 equal to 0 equal to 0, x equal to 0 is a root. But what you're asked to find out? Positive root. smallest positive root. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So for that, what we are doing, we are preparing the table. Let us prepare a table for different values of x. Okay, write in radians. Okay, 0, pi by 4, pi by 2, 3 pi by 4, pi, 5 pi by 4, and so on. I wrote. Just observe once. Okay, initially 0, and the tan x minus x. When you use the calculator, what is your f of x? F of x here is nothing but tan x minus x only, no? This is in the form f of x equal to 0. All of you open your calculators. All of you start use your calculators. F of x is tan x minus x. You can see, compare these two. F of x is tan x minus x. So when f of x is tan x minus x, you substitute some values, pi by 4 up to pi by 2. Okay, set your angle in radians. All of you set your angle in radians and see what is the functional values when x is less than pi by 2. Is it positive at pi by 4? Please tell me.
Yes, sir.
So, and as extending to pi by 2, tan x tends to infinity. Infinity minus some positive value is also infinity. So, and so till pi by 2, all are positive values. Do you agree? If you want to have a root, the function values should go from positive to negative. Okay, and if the function is continuous in that interval, then there will be a root of the equation f of x equal to 0. That is how we did in bisection method and false quotient method, right? But after pi by 2, what is 3 pi by 4? 3 pi by 4 is 135. Tan 90 plus 45. 135 means tan 90 plus 45. So that is cot 45. Cot 45 minus cot 45, which is negative. So at pi by 4 it is positive, at 3 pi by 4 it is negative. So do you think that there is a root in between pi by 4 and 3 pi by 4?
Yes, sir.
You cannot say, because pi by 2 is a point of discontinuity. Okay, so if there is a discontinuity, the root may not lie. See, up to pi by 2 it is keep on going to infinity, right? And after pi by 2, what is happening? Up to pi by 2, f of x values are going to infinity, and after pi by 2, the functional values are going to be negative. So where the curve is crossing x-axis, the curve is not at all crossing x-axis. Can you see that? This is where pi by 2 is. The curve is crossing like this, then you say there is a root. What is the curve? Curve is nothing but tan x minus x curve, which is f of x. Is that point clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there is no root, in between minus pi by 4 to 3 pi by 4. Pi by 2 is a point of discontinuity. Up to pi by 2 it is keep on going to plus infinity. After pi by 2 it is starting from negative value. There is no zero value. There is no point satisfying this condition. So from after pi by 2 onwards, all are negative. Up to pi by 2 all are positive. So there is no zero in between these two. So and when you keep on going, you will notice that all these values are negative. Pi by 2 is a point of discontinuity. Where is the next point of discontinuity?
6 pi by 4.
Because pi by 2 plus pi. What is pi by 2 plus pi? You know, tan x is not continuous at all points in 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, right? So pi by 2 plus pi means what? 3 pi by 2. 3 pi by 2 is nothing but 6 pi by 4. That means 225 degrees. Okay. So at when your angle is reaching to 6 pi by 4, your values are going to be infinity again, plus infinity, because tan pi by 2. What is 225 degrees? 180 plus 45. Okay, so 180 means pi. Okay, and tan let us say 220 degrees. Tan 220 degrees means what? Tan 180 plus 40 degrees, and you know all silver teacups. All silver teacups. 220 degrees falls in a third quadrant, and it is nothing but tan 40 degrees only. Is that okay? So like that. Okay, so up to 2, this is 3 pi by 2. Okay, so up to 3 pi by 2, when the angle is reaching to 3 pi by 2, these values are becoming a positive. So in between, so there will be a root after 5 pi by 4 and before 6 pi by 4. Do you agree? Or you can say there is a root in between pi to 6 pi by 4. There is a root in between pi to 6 pi by 4, because this is where in this interval in between pi to 5, in between pi to 3 pi by 2, the values are going from negative to positive, and there is no discontinuity. There is no discontinuity at in between pi and 3 pi by 2. Discontinuity is at 3 pi by 2 only, not before it. Before this discontinuity at pi by 2, not at pi. So the function is continuous for any subinterval in between pi 2 to 3 pi by 2, and the values are changing from -2 to plus, means definitely it will have a root. And what kind of root it is? It is a positive root. And what kind of positive root it is? It is a smallest positive root, because this is the interval where we are seeing the occurrence of the positive root for the first time. Therefore, it has to be the smallest positive root. Do you agree? So you can say that root lies between pi to 6 pi by 4, or you can say that root lies between pi by 4 to 6 pi by 4, because at pi by 4 also it is still 5 pi by 4 also it is still negative. Okay, so here I declare that the smallest positive root of this equation lies in the interval 5 pi by 4 to 3 pi by 2. Is it clear to you? Is this analysis understood to you? Understood or not? Please let me know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so then so I compute, you just so you find out the approximate values of 5 pi by 4 and 3 pi by 2. Okay, you take a value which is in between these two. I took that value as 4.5. Okay, use your calculator and find out the decimal values of these two, and take a value which is in between these two. So I started with 4.5 as the initial approximation. Then f of x is this tan x minus x, and what is f dash of x? Tan x derivative is secant square x minus 1. Tan x derivative is secant square x derivative is 1, and secant square x minus 1 is nothing but tan square x. Secant square x minus, because 1 plus tan square is secant square, therefore secant square minus 1 is tan square. Okay, so at x naught. Okay, so why is this? Okay, so then I wrote the iteration formula. I wrote the iterative method formula, Then I substituted x not equal to 4.5 in the function and its derivative. It came out to be like this. Then I wrote the formula for x1, that is x naught minus f of x naught by f dash of x naught. X naught value is 4.5 and f of x naught value is this one, 0.13, and f dash of x naught value is this much. So when I simplify this, you will get this value. Similarly, okay, at x1 you compute f of x1, f dash of x1. For all these things, remember, see f dash of x naught, there is a mistake I see, I think. Please compute secant square of 4.5, tan square of 4.5. Tell me what is that value. Use your calculator. Substitute x equal to 4.5 in tan and square it, and tell me what is that value. Is it 21.50485? Put your angle in radians. Make sure that your angle is in radians. Are you doing it? Fix the number of decimals to 5. In all the problems in Newton-Raphson method, I told you to fix the number of decimals to 5. Is tan square at 4.5 is this value?
4.470397.
I'm asking the derivative value. Is the derivative value is this?
Yes, sir.
So after substituting these values, is this the value we are getting, 4.49361? All of you noted this problem, no? Write down these arguments. Is this the value you got?
Yes, sir.
Okay, using x1, you find out f of x1 and f dash of x1. Find out f of x1 and f dash of x1. All of you do your calculations. Store this value in a variable. Store this value in a variable and just simply perform tan a minus a. In this case, tan square a. Don't enter the value every time, 4.49361, like that. Simply store the value. I told you how to store the value in a variable. These are the values. These are the values you got.
Yes, sir.
So then substitute these values in x2 iterative formula. So x1 minus f of x1 by f dash of x1. x1 is the previous approximation, 4.49361, minus f of x1 is 0.00405 divided by f dash of x1 is 20.22897. So when you simplify this, you should get this value 4.49340. You may store f of x1 value in a variable b, f dash of x1 value in a variable b, so that in your calculator you just have to use a divided by a minus b divided by c. a minus b divided by c. And again the last obtained value you store in the variable again a, so that calculations will be easier to do. Did you get 4.49340?
Sir, I got 4.49341, sir.
341, huh? For this value.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So please tell me for the next calculation. (4.49341) minus. Tell me f of x2 value, f of x3 value.
F of x2 equals to minus 0.00019.
Minus, huh?
Yes, sir.
Minus 0.00
019.
19 divided by so what is f of x2 value? Can you please tell me?
Sir, excuse me, sir. Sorry, sir. F of x2 equals to not minus 0.009. Sorry.
It's a different value.
Yes, sir, I said wrong.
Tell me.
0.00001.
0.401
1.
divided by f of x2.
Doing, sir.
F of x2.
Sir, 1 minute, sir. Doing.
I didn't hear.
Sir, doing, sir.
You're doing okay.
20.19083, sir.
Okay. Simplification.
49341, sir.
Okay, so let us not rely on fifth decimal. So your answer will be 4.49341, correct to 4 decimals. Okay. So is that fine? Shall I proceed?
Yes, sir.
So this we completed. Okay, so you just find out like this. Okay, problem number 8. 7 is over. 7 is over. Okay, so 8. Okay, so using Newton's iterative formula, find approximate value of cube root of 63. Cube root of 63. Okay. We know 4 cube is 64. Okay. So let cube root of 63 is equal to 63 power 1 by 3 is equals to x. So this implies that what I have to do? Take cube on both sides. X cube equal to 63. This implies that x cube minus 63 equal to 0, which is in the form f of x equal to 0. Is that okay? So assume that f of x equal to x cube minus 63. This implies that f dash of x is equals to 3x square. Okay, so Newton's iterative formula is right down. Newton's iterative formula, Newton-Raphson iterative formula, both are same. Newton's iterative formula. Xn plus 1 is equals to xn plus 1 is equals to xn minus f of xn by f dash of x. So here I may write x naught on n equal to 0, 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. So in this case xn is nothing but xn minus f of xn means xn cube minus 63 by f dash of xn is 3xn square. If you want you can simplify it. So what is the simplification? 3xn cube. 3xn cube minus xn cube is 2xn cube minus or minus plus 63 by 3xn square. Okay, so this is xn plus 1. And because we know 4 cube is 64, okay, so you may start with x naught equal to 4. You may start with x naught equal to 4. So what will be x1? x1 is 2x naught cube plus 63 by 3x0 square, which is 2 into 4 cube plus 63 plus 63 by 2 into 4 square. 4 square is 16. Always fix the number of decimals to 4. Fix the number of decimals to 4 in your calculator. Sorry, fix the number of decimals to 5. When you are doing the Newton-Raphson method, fix the number of decimals to 5. And tell me this value.
Three point 97917.
3.97
917.
917. So then x2 equal to 2x1 cube plus 63 by 3x1 square. What is x2 value?
Three point 97906, sir.
97906. Tell me. 3.97
sir.
6 only. Okay. Now you just compare this value with your calculator value. In calculator directly give 63 power 1 by 3. Tell me and what you are getting. 63 power 1 by 3. 1 by 3 you give as 1 by 3 only. Don't give 0.33. 1 divided by 3. Give bracket 63 power 1 bracket 1 divided by 3. Is it not 3.97057? So when rounded to 5 decimals, you are getting the same value, right? Can you See this?
Yes, sir.
As I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth decimal is 5, sixth decimal is 7. Okay, so when you are taking more number of decimals, but up to 4 it is guaranteed. Okay, because fifth one is a round out decimal value. Okay, approximate value of cube root of 63 is 3.97906, corrected to 4 decimals. Okay, correct to 4 decimals. Okay, so what I'm telling is, calculator what it is showing is a 3.9705721. It is, that is what so when you increasing the number of decimals, okay, it will be like this. Okay, so definitely first 4 decimals are 97905 90721, like that. Okay, so first 4 decimals 9790 are matching with that of exact value, correct to 4 decimals. Okay, shall I proceed? Okay, so it's like this. In exams, you may be asked 4th root, 5th root, or some 10th root, like that. Okay, generally square root and cube roots are popular, but the methodology is same. Is that okay? So shall I conclude Newton-Raphson method, or you want to do one more problem? I shall give some. Shall I give some problems as homework for practice? Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right.
Yes, sir.
Fine.